Okay, you guys remember I did a review on this little bad boy, and it's time to do one on a little bit bigger of a bad boy. So the current model I'm on is the T4. What T4 is mainly designed for is to be a portable, much smaller, easier to handle unit. Fully able to handle somebody as big as me. I'm 300 pounds and 6 foot tall, and it is very stable. I have to do a lot to get this thing to move over. And it's a great little unit. I've talked about it in the past video. Go check out that video. This all folds down. It's relatively portable, but this is a T5. This one's a T4. As you can imagine, that other number, T5, it's a little bigger, a little better. So let's get to it.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
So our initial dealings with HOVERFLY was very good, very positive. These were shipped locally here. I believe it was out of Texas, and we got it relatively quick. I was surprised how quick we got the first one. Well, the second one came just as fast. I want you to be aware of a couple of things whenever we are getting into stuff like this, though. FedEx will be delivering these. Now, your FedEx delivery may be a little bit different than my FedEx delivery. And that comes down to how well they handle the box, how they manipulate your delivery coming to your house, actually being delivered to your door. This is not to be considered a portable unit. This is 125 pounds, and this is kind of demanding. So make sure that you know when it's coming, which is easy. They have a nice website. They have a good order process. They give you the tracking number right away. You can track it relatively easy. And a link to purchase this is going to be in the description. I want to tell you that ahead of time. We may have a discount code also for this. That'll be in the description. If you go and pick one of these up, be aware that there's the potential for you to be able to finance this. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. The mobility scooter that I just showed you there, the red one, this will be kind of a red versus blue team thing because this one's blue. But the red one, that is something that is very inexpensive. And for you guys that need to get around the house, it's a very small unit. It will work outside. It does have a pretty good range. It has, pretty good speed. However, this one's going to be bigger than that all the way around. This is not a portable unit. This is more of a bulky unit. Now, the smaller one, that is a much more inexpensive unit than this one. However, this one is not as crazy as you might think. Check the current pricing on this, but it's going to be along the lines of probably around $1,200. Again, we might have some discounts using our discount code down below, but compared to some of the units that I've seen, that Medicare end up paying for, it would almost have to. Who can afford $3,000, $4,000, $6,000 for a mobility scooter? So I'm gonna get this thing out of here. I'm gonna point out any kind of assembly stuff that's going on that might be outside of what's in their manual. But this is a thick, glue bind type deal. Here's the use. They're talking about the battery removal. I'm just seeing how many pages. The warranty, you do have a year warranty on this. Customer service is great with this company too. So here we are, 29 pages of manual, and I'm not saying that's all assembly. A lot of that is just use, how to use it, and there's some details on it and specs. Of course, read all the messages, make sure you don't screw up anything and do something you're not supposed to. But let me go ahead and go through this. I'm going to put this together. Maybe I'll cut this box open and let you see what the packaging looks like, and then what all the contents are. And again, I'll point out anything that comes up that may be out of the ordinary. Okay, so I'm going to show you the scariest part for most people whenever they get these things. And it's, oh my word, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not very good at assembling things. I'm not going to be able to do this. The parts are pretty complete. You don't have a lot to do, believe it or not. So All I lifted out of here, we'll go look at over on the table here in a second, but this is what's left after those items are picked up out of there. That and 2 pieces of styrofoam, large pieces of styrofoam on the end. So what you're left with is the main unit. Of course, the battery's on there. The seat is down in here. I've already taken the basket out again, we'll see that. And it's nothing more than lifting up the stalk, tightening it down, and at that point, removing the seat and start your assembly process. So don't be afraid of it. Most of it's together. I kind of like the blue. It's a little bit more regal. I don't know if it's a regal blue, but it looks a little bit more, less cartoonish. It looks, you know, something that a little bit more sophistication. Okay, so here's what you're left with when it's out of the package and all the accessories that come with it have been removed. The nice thing that this does offer is, even though this is not a portable unit, they do take in consideration that you may want to fold down this stalk. There's a locking pin that's here. You just flip the lever down, which you can imagine is pretty stiff because they want to make sure that that don't accidentally go down. And then you can lower the handle. So that's nice that they do that. Even though this isn't really made to be portable, they make it to where you can actually get this into maybe the back of something that has a little bit of a short height to it. So now let's look at all the components that you have to put to this to make it full and whole. One of them I really like more than anything else. So this isn't scary, right? So we're looking at about 6 bolts or some nuts here. You just have to match them up with what's in the manual. A couple of screw knobs to lock in some of the components. Like I said, it's all covered in here. A couple of wrenches, Allen wrenches, and then an open end wrench. You have your charger, the basket, which this basket isn't removable like the last one. Again, this isn't a portable unit to where you can fold it up and take it into, you know, wherever. This is a more permanent fixture. And the seat, and the first thing you're gonna see is, well, there's a little pocket on the back of the seat, but more importantly, this is the feature that I like. Where's the cushion? Well, you guys know that accidents happen, things get dirty, and man, would it be a pain in the butt to try to clean this entire seat when you could just either take off and clean or possibly just remove and replace the padding. And that's what this lets you do. Now, also, this could be used if you're transporting, you know, if you need to pull the cushion off, and then when you get to your location, if this is outside your vehicle without a cover on it, which I never really suggest, but if you had to do that, this would allow you to put in your cushion. It does have a zipper. You can remove the padding, and I'm talking about the internal padding. And of course, when you've got your big butt on this, it's going to stay. And I'll tell you, this is really, it's kind of like a naga hide. There's a fabric to it. Looks like it'll help from sliding around. But yeah, very, very nice looking. So this is all the components. So like I said, this is the most scariest part for everybody. And I don't see anything here that you go, oh my word, this is going to be a nightmare. What is that? It's got a Bluetooth speaker in it. How cool is that? So I guess if you wanted to, you could actually take your phone calls with this, but I just got my music streaming through it, through YouTube. But the display's pretty decent on this one. We'll look at this a little bit closer. Of course, it has a light on the front. It's relatively bright. This is supposed to go, I believe it's about 16 miles. I'll put the specs up here so we can see them, but it's about 16 miles. The battery is a 24 volt. It's a big battery. So it's a heavier battery. Again, this isn't made to be like this one, to where you just lift the battery off and go with it. The setup all the way around is very similar to this one. So you have a key to turn it on here. You have a key to turn on the battery back here. We do have a cup holder, and I've got plenty of room. Now I could set the seat back just a little bit further, one more hole, but I put it in the middle. It kind of don't make a difference. And as far as the height, I have the seat up the highest that it will go currently. The seat though is just like the other one. You just lift the lever, and if you turn, you can then step right off. The armrests do go up to make it a little bit easier for yourself. The armrests are adjusted almost all the way in. I could go one more setting in closer to my body, so you can get an idea. You can be pretty wide for this still to be able to fit between the armrest here. It's a comfortable seating position. I like the fact that I could put my feet up higher if I wanted to, and just rest my hands right on my knees for the controls. Of course, you could hear how loud the backup is. Here's the backup. Same thing. It's just doing it automatically. The display is kind of hard to read in bright sunlight, but you can see it, and it's very simple. All it has is the Bluetooth feature function symbol, which was easy to connect to. All this does for Bluetooth wise is allow you to stream whatever's on your phone into and through the speaker. There's not an app or anything like that. The controls are very intuitive. Very easy for elderly people to do. I mean, you have a horn button. It's more than clear which one's the horn button. You have the headlight button, more than clear which one's the headlight button, and then the Bluetooth button. And then your speed control, turtle for slow and rabbit for fast. So let's go ahead and see what this is like in the slowest. Ready? This is pretty slow. Now I ride it in the driveway, but I mean, it can go through the grass. It's not that it can't go through the grass. There are adjustable shocks on the back. You can adjust them with basically some sort of a wrench, but you can soften it to where it's a little bit softer of a ride in the back. No suspension on the front. The tires are a solid tire. Now I expect them to become more pliable the more that you use them, especially on warmer days. Again, you can see how slow it is. Not bad, right? Okay, we can speed it up. Let's about halfway here. The seat is very plentiful. I mean, it's a large seat. So, I mean, I've got a lot of room here. The seat does move around, but that's kind of on purpose. And again, you already seen the fastest speed. That's what I was trucking around with there. Yeah, but the seat, I think it's part of the build that it moves around. I mean, it's so you're not getting tossed around, because you got to remember this platform will pivot like this. Well, it doesn't want you to pivot with it. It'd be like a sailing ship, and the mast, the higher you go, the more you would rock. So what it does is allow this to move around. It's a good design. And of course the seat does have different heights. This is the highest that it's at. Real easy to do. It's a flip lever, just like on bicycles, to where you can flip the lever and then lower it. But there's a pin, a locking pin, to lock you in solid. So it doesn't, you know, when you hit bumps, it doesn't scoot down. Yeah, I'm very, very impressed with it overall. Let's get a little bit closer look at some of this stuff. Okay, you can see this is a bit of a footprint magnet. This is just the dust off the floor. But again, nice cup holder setting here. You know, it's a pretty wide cup holder. Here's where your key goes in. All this is pretty self-explanatory. The display, again, very hard to read in the direct sunlight, but you can see it's just got a simple bars, shows the Bluetooth again, and then a headlight. Let me see if that goes off. It gets slightly brighter when the headlight's off, but probably want to keep the headlight on mainly. Of course, this will fold down. Of course, like I said, you can remove this. You can see the settings that I was talking about here. There's a pin, and I have it on the highest setting. The battery can be removed. I just want to be clear on that. It's not necessarily meant for that, except when you want to take it in and charge it. No problem there, none at all. Now this is UL listed, so feel safe bringing this in your home and charging it. Nice little wheelie bars in the back. I sustained a little bit of damage in shipping. I reached out to the company. They said that they could take care of that for me. You have a feature here that will allow you to push it. See, it's telling me, wait a minute, your power's on. You don't want to do that. Here's the adjustable shocks. Like I said, we have a few more turns we can make to allow it to be softened up a bit. I didn't go over any of the assembly stuff because what the manual has is dead on accurate. Of course, again, we got a little pocket here. You want to carry some stuff back there. And this basket is very generous compared to this one here. We'll just go ahead and show you. Although I like the fact this one removes. It's nothing compared to the big one. Also has a front bumper on there to help you out. This is a nice little unit. So again, size comparison, you can see how much bigger it is. It's made to go a little bit further. It's made to be a smoother ride. None of these are going to be a really smooth ride until you get into like a $3,000, $4,000 full suspension scooter. That's just way too much. As you get to be older, and the people that are already older, technology has gotten out of reach of a lot of people. And some of this stuff is very, very complicated. This is not. This is very simplified. They realize who their target market is. They realize that people are going to be confused about a lot of this stuff, and they want to make it easy for them. Well, they did that. This is a very, very simple unit. Stability, much better. Better than that one, obviously. Comfort, better than this one, obviously. And as far as the quality, everything seems to be a little beefier. Everything just, you know, as far as tactile, feels a little more beefy. So it's one of those things that they are stepping up from their initial offering, and it's because they did such a good job with the smaller one. They wanted to address the people that wanted the bigger units, that needed something a little bit bigger. So HOVERFLY T5, the big boy, and then T4, the portable little boy. I think with either one, you're going to get, you know, a very good unit. I'm very, very happy with what I've seen with this one so far. I've taken it down the block. I've driven around the yard here, and it does a great job. So the fact that they've gone into this bigger unit, it's just that much better. So the links will be down below, guys. And as always, we hope to see you out there. Bye.